the last thing I want to talk about, I know I kind of did this backwards, but I was trying to keep everything kind of together. And Spider-Man, No Way Home. Holy crap. I don't know if you checked out our latest article over at spoilerverse.com, but we talked about this a little bit last week when Deej was on the show. We talked about the big rumor or confirmation, maybe, a lot of outlets are talking about it now, that Willem Dafoe will be returning as Green Goblin in Spider-Man No Way Home. Now, I want to forewarn you, if you're watching this now, there's a potential for spoilers in regards to Spider-Man No Way Home. I know a lot more than probably most people know. I know that there's a lot of YouTubers out there talking about Spider-Man No Way Home and discussing all of the intricacies of what they've heard as an outline or script or what have you. The problem is a lot of these outlets, they kind of are contradicting themselves. You know, there's a lot of information that seems to be lining up with what I heard, with what other people heard, and then there's some things that just don't line up at all. Now, I'm sure there's truth within all of this somewhere. I'm sure within what everybody's saying, there's a lot of truth to it. But for just my sake, you know, I don't want you to come back at me and say, you spoiled the movie for me. That's not my intent at all. But I want to discuss these rumors that are out there. Again, these are rumors. That's all I'm going to touch on. Yes, I've heard some things. The things I am sure are going to happen, I'm not going to talk about unless they've been confirmed by other outlets or have been out there. All right. I want to talk about the rumors. So the big one, the big rumor, Willem Dafoe returning as Green Goblin. Now, we do also know that Jamie Foxx is returning as Electro. We know that Alfred Molina is returning as Doc Ock. And we know Tom Holland is going to be back as Spider-Man Peter Parker. Those are the things we know. Rumored are Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield Spider-Man, that they will be showing up. Rumored is the guy who played Lizard in the first Amazing Spider-Man, that he will be showing up. And Sandman. So we got those as rumors. We got those as possibilities coming to Spider-Man No Way Home. I want to know what you guys think. What are the chances of this happening? Now, again, I'm not going to talk about certainties story-wise. I'm not going to talk about certainties stories-wise. But what I have heard is that Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield will be popping up in this movie. And I know Andrew, I don't know if he's still watching. He was watching earlier. He asked me and has been asking me all the time, do you know, are they going to be in it? You know, blah, 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 all this stuff. I think his favorite Spider-Man is Tobey Maguire. So, Andrew, if you are watching still, or if you come back and watch, I hope you are. You know, I've been told, yes, both Tobey and Andrew are going to be in this movie, but it's not going to be at a large capacity, which has been what I've been saying for months and months and months, that if they were to show up, it would be in a small capacity in some form or fashion, nothing huge. What about the villains? Well, that is where I want to get into everything, because the Spider-Man No Way Home title is for the villains. Again, that's something that a lot of YouTubers, a lot of, scoopers have been saying, that the No Way Home title is specifically for the villains and not the Spider-Man. Okay, so why? Why is there no way home for the villains? Why are they there? And that's where things get interesting, because, you know, one of the things that has been a pretty solid thing said between YouTubers and other scoopers is that Peter Parker wants to find a way to get everybody to stop believing that, or knowing that he's Spider-Man, and he enlists the help of Doctor Strange. And it's during Doctor Strange's spell that things go awry, thus opening up a tear in the multiverse in a form, and these villains are brought to the MCU. And that's how I'm going to say it. You know, is from now on until we see the movie, that's how I'm going to say it, is this is the MCU, the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Anything that is not originated from the MCU is outside of the MCU. Makes sense, right? Exactly. So that's kind of what happens there. We get them into the MCU, and things go all haywire, and Spider-Man has to take on these villains in some form or fashion, and quite possibly with the help of Doctor Strange. But the interesting aspect of these villains is they are not the same villains that you remember from their respective movies. Because let's not forget, Green Goblin was killed in Spider-Man in 2002. Doc Ock was killed in Spider-Man 2. The Elektra that we saw was killed, or I don't know, became electricity. I don't know. Amazing Spider-Man 2 is horrible. Amazing Spider-Man 2. The Lizard. I don't really remember what happened to him. All I remember about the first Amazing Spider-Man is it had almost the same third act as the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie that came out like the same year or a year later or something. So there's that. And then Sandman, he didn't die, which is why I think he's going to be the only one that we remember and is going to be the same Sandman from any of the universe, because he actually didn't die. He's one of the few that did not die within all of those universes. And it looks like Green Goblin will be headlining this Sinister Six of characters. Oh, Rhino as well. Rhino from The Amazing Spider-Man. Paul Giamatti. So he will be headlining. Green Goblin will be leading this Sinister Six in a way. Now, we all know that Sony's been wanting to do a Sinister Six movie for quite some time. They were setting up all the Easter eggs and breadcrumbs to get to it in the Amazing Spider-Man series, and then once all those emails came out between Sony and Marvel, they scrapped that, and we now have Spider-Man in the MCU. But what does it all mean? What does it all mean, Basil? I don't even think that's the right line. I think I say that all the time, and I don't think that's what it is from Austin Powers. I think it's the second one. I don't know. Anyway, but when we get down to it, what does it all mean? It just means that they're going to explore the multiverse, starting with Spider-Man No Way Home, and then continuing on into Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. And I think that it's going to be... this is going to be our taste of what the Marvel Cinematic Universe is going to be moving forward. If you remember, or obviously you remember, the first 11 years, each film was basically its own thing. But where did they make the most money? When did things really explode for them financially? Civil War, Winter Soldier, all the Avengers movies, the team ups. That's where their buku bucks came. And I think that is what Marvel's going to do moving forward. What's going on, Nicotina? Haven't seen you for a while. I need to check out your show, man. It's been a crazy few months. So sorry I haven't been active watching your show, but I'm going to get back to it. Guys, if you can, watch the Nicotina show. Amazing show. Check them out. But Marvel, I think what they're going to be doing is their stories are now going to be spread into 2 films moving forward. So 2 movies are going to essentially tell a story, maybe not completely. Obviously, Black Widow is going to be its own thing. Eternals appears to be its own thing, but Spider-Man No Way Home and Doctor Strange are going to connect. I think that we're then going to have a couple other movies that connect in that same way as we go down. I think they're going to do that more often because that's where they make the buku bucks, is those team ups and seeing your heroes together, just like they used to do in the comics. Every once in a while, obviously they had, comics have their annual or biannual huge books where there's all teaming up together, but also through certain runs, every once in a while you would get Spider-Man and Daredevil together, or Batman and Superman. Whatever. In the comics, you would get these team ups, and even in the comics, the sales would bump up a little bit when you would have those team ups, and the same thing's going to happen with the films. You're going to see the revenue bumping up a little bit. I think that's the way that they're going to move forward with the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And I think it's a great idea because it's switching it up a little bit. It's giving us a reason to not only see Spider-Man, but to then go see Doctor Strange. Not that the fans like you and I we're going to go see it. We're going to be in line to see those movies. But people like my fiance, who enjoys the movies from time to time, but if I take her to go see Spider-Man, she now may have a reason to say, oh, I want to go see Doctor Strange now because we're going to see a through line in that connected to Spider-Man. So that's what I think they're going to do. I really believe that is the case, and I'm looking forward to it. Again, Spider-Man No Way Home, from what I know, is going to be a romping good time. If you can avoid it, avoid spoilers, big spoilers. I didn't give you guys much of anything. Again, I just covered the rumors that are out there, what people are saying. I will not touch on any of the actual spoilers or things that would give away the movie. Again, if everything that I heard is true, if what I saw is true, it's going to be a romping good time. And I think we're all in for a real treat with this movie. I think it'll definitely be some of everyone's favorite Spider-Man movie ever, especially if the ending plays out like I think it's going to play out according to what I've seen. If it does, so good. So good. So I hope it plays out like that. Well, I'd be disappointed if it doesn't play out, like that. But I'm hoping it does. What's going on, guys? Did you enjoy this video? If you did, make sure you smash that like button. And for more, hit subscribe with that little notification bell. That way, you'll be notified every time a new episode drops. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you all later.